It was a quiet night in the desert village. The sky was full of stars, and the air was calm. Ravi stood outside his small garage, looking up while holding a cup of tea. He liked watching the stars. It helped him think. He was only 22, but he worked as a mechanic. His father had taught him everything about machines. Since his parents had passed away, he lived alone. That night, something strange happened. A bright light shot across the sky. It moved fast, faster than any plane Ravi had ever seen. It was glowing red and orange, and it left a trail of smoke behind. People in the village started coming out of their homes. Some thought it was a falling star. Others whispered it was something else, something not from this world. The light crashed in the hills outside the village. A loud boom echoed across them. Desert, the ground shook lightly. Some windows rattled. Then, silence returned by morning. Everyone was talking about it. Ravi pretended to ignore them, but he was curious. He packed a small bag, took his bike, and rode toward the hills. He told no one. He just followed the trail of burned grass and broken trees. After 1 hour, he found the place. There was a large hole in the ground. Smoke still rose from it. Broken metal pieces were scattered around. It looked like part of a ship, but not like anything from Earth. It had strange blue lines running across its surface. Some parts were still warm. Ravi stepped carefully around the edge. Then, he heard a sound, a soft, weak voice. He looked down and saw her. A woman lay near the center of the crash. She was not like any human he had seen. She was tall and strong. Her skin was a mix of light brown and silver. Her arms had patches of soft fur. Her fingers had sharp nails. Her face looked like a human's, but her eyes were golden, and they glowed even in daylight. She was hurt. Blood dark and thick was on her side. But even in pain, she looked powerful. Ravi didn't run. He felt something deep inside him, something strange, as if he knew her. He climbed down slowly. She turned her head to him and tried to speak. Her voice was rough but soft. "I finally found you," she whispered. Then her eyes closed, and she fell unconscious. Ravi didn't waste time. He gently lifted her into his arms. She was heavier than she looked, but he managed. He took her too, his bike, and placed her on the side cart, covering her with his old jacket. He drove back to the village through a longer path so no one would see Dot back at his garage. He placed her on a soft bed of cloth in the back room. He cleaned her wounds as best as he could. Her blood was thick and smelled like hot metal. He didn't know what kind of tools or medicine to use, so he tried simple things: clean water, bandages, and rest. She didn't wake up that night. Ravi stayed beside her. He kept asking himself questions. Who was she? What did she mean by "I found you"? Why did he feel a strange connection to her? That night, he had a dream. In the dream, he was standing on a red world. The sky was dark, and the ground burned. Huge machines walked across the land. He was not alone. Many humans stood beside him, but they wore strange suits. And beside them were beings like the woman, tall, strong, part animal, part human. He saw himself fighting, leading, helping, and the golden-eyed woman was beside him. They fought together. He woke up sweating. The room was silent. The woman was still asleep, but her hand had moved slightly, and on her wrist was a metal band. It had a small light blinking on it. The next morning, she opened her eyes. She looked at Ravi and smiled faintly. Her voice was soft but clearer now. "You are still the same," she said. Ravi was confused. "Who are you?" he asked. She sat up slowly. Her body was healing fast. The bandages were already dry. "My name is Nara," she said. "I'm not from this world." Ravi nodded slowly. He had already guessed that much. Nara looked around the small garage. She touched one of the tools on the shelf. Then she looked back at Ravi. "I came here for you," she said. "Why?" Ravi asked. "Because we met before. A long time ago. Before this life. Before this world." Ravi shook his head. "I don't understand." "You will," she said. "In time." She stood up, though still weak. "I crashed because they followed me. The ones who destroy. They are looking for me. and now they may come here. Who? Ravi asked again. The machines, she replied. The same ones we fought together once before. Ravi didn't know what to believe. His heart was beating fast. But something inside him told him that she was telling the truth. He looked into her golden eyes. And for a moment, he saw something. A memory, a flash of another time, another world. Nara touched his shoulder. I will protect you, she said. But soon, you will need to remember who you are. Ravi didn't reply. He just stood there, feeling like his simple life had just ended. Outside, clouds were gathering in the sky. A storm was coming. But this time, it wasn't just wind and rain. It was something far greater. Ravi's hands were shaking. The tea in his cup had turned cold. He sat near the edge of the old bed, watching Nara carefully. She stood in the corner of the room, quiet and alert. Even though she was still weak from the crash, her eyes were sharp, always moving. Her body moved like a hunter, graceful and strong. It was hard to believe she had fallen from the sky just a day ago. Nara looked at the tools on the wall. You fix machines? She asked. Yes, Ravi replied slowly. It's what I do here. This is my father's garage. She nodded. Machines are useful, but some become dangerous. Ravi remembered her words from before. The machines that destroy. The strange dream he had. The golden sky. The red world. It still didn't make sense, but he didn't feel like asking too many questions yet. Are you hungry? Ravi asked. Nara turned to him and smiled. Yes, but I don't eat like humans. Ravi looked around. Confused, he had no idea what to give her. She noticed that and said, Water is enough for now. He gave her a bottle, and she drank deeply. Her wounds were healing fast. The bandages he had used were already coming off. Her skin seemed to fix itself like it was alive. It amazed Ravi. Are there more like you? He asked. Nara sat down on the floor. Not here. Not on this world. My kind lived far away, beyond many stars. I left them behind to come here. Why? He asked. She looked at him for a long time. Because of you. Ravi's heart skipped a beat. I searched across many planets, she continued. I followed memories, signs, and old records. I knew I would find you here, in this small place. Ravi tried to understand. But I'm just a normal person. I fix bikes and cars. I've never even left this village. Nara tilted her head. Your body is normal, but your spirit is not. You were once someone else. A warrior, a leader, someone who helped my people. When they had no hope, Ravi shook his head. That's impossible. She didn't argue. Do you dream? She asked. Ravi nodded slowly. Yes, last night I saw things, strange things. I saw you too. We were fighting together. She smiled. Gently. That was not just a dream. That was a memory. Your soul remembers, even if your mind has forgotten. Ravi felt cold. The room was warm, but something inside him felt like winter. So, what happens now? They are coming, Nara said. The machines. They will find the crash site. They will follow the signal. They will come here. How soon? He asked. Maybe days, she replied. Maybe hours. Ravi stood up and walked to the window. The sky outside was cloudy. A strange wind was blowing. He looked at the hills, remembering the crash. We can't fight them. Not with tools and bikes. We don't need to, Nara said. We hide. We wait. And when the time comes, I protect you. He turned to her. Why me? If I don't remember anything, what can I do? You will remember, she said. And when you do, everything will change. Ravi didn't speak. He had so many questions, but no answers. Later that evening, he gave her one of his old hoodies and a pair of loose pants. She looked strange in them, but they helped hide her unusual body. Her face was still different, but with her hood up, she could pass as a traveler. We need supplies, Ravi said, if we're hiding. We need food, water, fuel. I can help, she said. No, Ravi replied. You should stay here. People might see you. She agreed. But be careful. Ravi nodded and left on his bike. He went to the edge of the village. where an old market sold dried food and tools. He moved quickly, trying not to look worried. He told people he was fixing an old generator. In the hills, nobody asked too many questions. By night, he returned with bags full of supplies. Nora was waiting in the shadows. Did anyone follow you? She asked. No, Ravi replied. He placed everything in a storage room behind the garage. Then he checked the crash beacon he had picked up from the site earlier. It was small and shaped like a metal egg. It still blinked softly. What is this? He asked. It's a locator, Nara said. My ship sent it before the crash. It's how they will find us. Can we turn it off? Ravi asked. She shook her head. It's damaged. Only way is to destroy it. But if we do that, I can't call for help. Ravi picked it up. It was warm and light. We keep it for now, he said. That night, they stayed inside. Nara rested again. Ravi stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. His mind was full of thoughts. He had no family, no big future, just a small garage and old tools. But now an alien had come from the sky, a woman who remembered him from another life, a woman who said the fate of the world might depend on him. It didn't feel real, but it was. He looked at her as she slept. Her breathing was slow and deep. She didn't seem like a monster. She looked calm, even peaceful. Somehow, even in all the confusion, Ravi felt a small bit of peace too, as if her presence made the world quiet, even for a little while. Then, outside, a soft sound broke the stillness, a hum, low and distant. Ravi walked to the door and opened it slightly. Far in the sky, above the hills, he saw it. A dark shape was floating, hidden in the clouds. It didn't blink. It didn't move fast. But it was there. Watching. The machines had started looking. Ravi couldn't sleep that night. He kept hearing the strange hum in his head. Even though the sound had faded, the dark shape in the clouds stayed in his memory. It didn't move. It didn't flash lights. But it was there, silent, watching. From above, he sat near the workshop table, holding the small metal device from Nara's crashed ship. It was warm and blinking slowly. Nara had called it a locator. Ravi didn't know how it worked, but it didn't feel like normal metal. It seemed alive, almost like it was listening. Nara walked in quietly. Her steps were soft. She looked stronger now. Her skin had healed almost completely, and her eyes were bright again. You saw it, didn't you? She asked. Ravi nodded. In the clouds, it wasn't a plane. It just hovered. They're here, she said calmly. They're scanning the area. They know someone from outside landed here. They just don't know where. Ravi looked down at the device. This thing is still sending a signal. If they follow it, they'll find us. She finished. Ravi sighed. What should we do? For now, we wait, Nara said. But there's something I need to show you. Something important. She sat beside him and placed a small square object on the table. It was dark gray and flat, like a thin tablet. When she touched it, it lit up with soft blue lines. A circle spun in the center. A voice came through, strange and musical. It didn't sound like any language Ravi knew. Then, something happened. When Ravi placed his hand near the screen, the language changed. The voice became clear, like it was speaking in perfect Hindi. Then English. It even matched his tone and accent. He pulled his hand back. What just happened? The device reads your mind. Nara explained. It takes your language and matches it to the message. It allows you to understand. Ravi looked at the screen. A map of stars appeared. Dots moved across it like slow comets. Red lines showed paths and warnings. One path led straight to a symbol marked Earth. The voice spoke again. This is a warning. The machine swarm is spreading again. They have taken systems in Sector 9. One of the last protectors, Nara of Clan Orvas, has gone missing. Last known path leads toward the Sol system. The screen dimmed. That's you, Ravi said. Yes. She replied. I came through Sector 9. They chased me. My ship was hit near the edge of your system. That's why I crashed. Ravi stared at the map again. What do they want? They want silence. She said softly. They want a universe without life, without choice. They see life as a mistake. They erase it. Why didn't your people stop them? He asked. We tried. Many times. We fought for generations. But we lost more than we saved. Our numbers grew smaller. So we ran. We hid. But legend spoke of someone who could lead again. Someone who would not run. Ravi looked at her. You think that's me? I don't just think, she said. I know. I saw the records. I saw your face. Ravi stood up. But I'm not a leader. I don't even know how to fight. You knew once, she said. And the memory is still inside you? He shook his head. I don't feel like a warrior. I feel confused. Nar stood as well. That's normal. But the time to remember is close. The machines are here. They are searching. And they will not stop. Ravi looked out the window again. The sky was clearing. But he felt no peace. So what do we do next? Nara picked up the locator and held it carefully. There may be a way to send a message to my people, a signal. But it must be sent from high ground, far from this village. There's a communication tower near the hills, Ravi said, old and half-broken. But maybe it still works. We can try, she said. The next morning, they left before sunrise. Ravi packed tools, wires, and food. Nar carried the locator and her data pad. They avoided the main roads and took narrow desert paths. Ravi's bike bounced over rocks and dry land. After 2 hours, they reached the tower. It was tall and rusty, standing alone on a dusty hill. Birds circled it, and the wind whistled through the metal beams. Ravi looked up. If this still has power, we might be lucky. He found the control box at the base. It was locked, but he broke it open. The inside was old, but some lights still blinked. With Nara's help, he connected the locator to the main system. Blue lights ran up the tower. A hum filled the air. The locator glowed brighter. Then a sound came, a deep beep, slow and steady. It's working, Nara said. It's sending the message. But then a noise came from the distance, a buzzing sound. Ravi turned and saw 3 dark shapes flying low, heading straight toward them. They found us, he said. Nara grabbed the locator and pulled the wires free. We have to go. They jumped on the bike and raced down the hill. Behind them, the flying shapes got closer. Ravi pushed the engine as hard as he could. The wind hit their faces. Dust flew in all directions. One of the flying machines fired a flash of light. It hit the ground near them, making the bike jump. Ravi gritted his teeth. Hold on. Nara turned and threw a small metal disc at one of the chasers. It exploded in midair, making sparks and smoke. One machine crashed. They kept following. They reached a narrow pass between rocks. The bike slid through just in time. The machines behind hit the rocks and exploded. Ravi stopped the bike. They both jumped off, breathing hard. We can't stay here anymore, he said. Nara looked at the sky. The message went out. My people will know where to find us, and the machines too, Ravi added. She nodded. Yes, but now it has begun. Ravi had never been in a fight before. He had never even left his village for more than a few days. But now, everything had changed. He was running through a desert path with an alien woman beside him, and machines from the sky were trying to find them. His bike was fast, but not made for this kind of travel. It shook hard as they crossed rough hills and dry riverbeds. Nara held the back of the seat tightly, her eyes scanning the sky behind them. Her senses were sharper than his. She could hear the machines before he saw them. They are not far, Nara said. We need cover. There's an old storage shed near the railway, Ravi shouted. Nobody goes there anymore. He turned the bike sharply and sped toward the tracks. The sun was high now, and heat waves danced over the ground. Ravi's hands were tight on the handles. His heart beat fast, but he didn't panic. Something inside him stayed calm, like it had been through danger before. They reached the shed after 20 minutes. It was small, with a rusted roof and wooden walls falling apart. Ravi pushed the bike inside and covered it with a dirty cloth. Nara closed the door and looked around. This will do for now, she said. They sat on the floor, breathing hard. Ravi took out a bottle of water and handed it to her. She drank quietly, then passed it back. They won't stop, she said. Not until I'm gone. Or until you are taken. Why me? Ravi asked. I'm not special. You are. Nora replied. You carry something inside you. A memory, a code, a spark. The machines fear it. They call it the flame of will. Ravi frowned. What is that? It is not a weapon, she said. It is the one thing they cannot understand. The power to choose. The power to stand up. Even when you are weak. You had it before. And you have it again. Ravi didn't know what to say. He looked down at his hands. They were rough from years of fixing machines. But now, they felt like they were meant for something more. Nora opened her small device. The message she had sent earlier was still glowing on the screen. We have a little time, she said, before they find us again. Can we run away? Ravi asked. We can run, but not forever, Nora replied. We need to reach the place where the flame first appeared. Where is that? She pointed to a spot on the map. It was not far, just beyond the dry hills. There's an old lab. A human base from before your people lost their past. It is hidden underground. My ship's data says it still exists. Ravi nodded slowly. Let's go then. They rested for a short time, then left the shed before sunset. This time, they didn't use the bike. They walked through rocky paths and climbed narrow trails. The machines were still looking from the sky, but the hills gave them cover. As the sky turned orange, they reached a wide flat land. In the middle was a metal door. Half buried under dirt and dry grass, Ravi cleared the dust away. There was no lock, no sign, just a smooth black plate with faded marks. How do we open it? He asked. Touch it, Nara said. He reached out and placed his hand on the metal. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a soft click came from beneath, and the ground shook gently. The door opened slowly, sliding to the side with a deep sound. Nora smiled. It remembers you? They stepped inside. The air was cool and dry. Lights on the walls turned on as they walked. The hallway led to a large round chamber filled with machines, broken tables, and old screens. Dust covered everything, but it still looked like a place of importance. In the center was a round platform with a strange orb floating above it. It glowed faintly. Blue lines moved around it, almost like a heartbeat. What is this? Ravi asked. Nara stepped closer. It's the core, the source of the flame. It was hidden here long ago. To keep it safe, Ravi stared at it. The orb seemed alive. As he stepped closer, it glowed brighter. Touch it, Nara whispered. He reached out slowly and placed his fingers on the orb. The moment he did, his mind exploded with light. In seconds. Memories flashed before his eyes. Another life, another time. He saw himself in armor, leading people through war. He saw Nara beside him, fighting machines. He saw stars, planets, victory, and loss. All of it came back like a wave. He fell to his knees, breathing fast. Nara knelt beside him. You remember? Ravi nodded. Some of it. I was there. I saw everything. You were the last guardian, Nara said. Your memory was lost when you died, but the flame moved with your spirit, and now you are here. Ravi stood up slowly. His legs shook, but his heart felt strong. So now what? Now, Nara said. We fight. Suddenly, the wall shook. A loud boom echoed through the lab. Dust fell from the ceiling. A red light blinked on the wall. They found us, Ravi said. Nara pulled him back. We need to move. There's a second exit. They ran through the back hall, past broken rooms and fallen beams. The sound of machines grew louder. Ravi could hear them landing above. They reached a narrow tunnel and slid through it. Behind them, metal footsteps echoed in the lab. At the end of the tunnel, a ladder led to a hidden hatch. Ravi pushed it open. They climbed out into the dark desert night. Stars filled the sky. But now, a few of them were moving machines watching from above. Nara looked at him. You saw the truth. You are ready, Ravi nodded. Let them come. We're not running anymore. The desert night was quiet, but Ravi could feel the danger growing around them. Machines were in the sky, and some had landed on the hills. Their red lights blinked slowly. Scanning the ground, Nara and Ravi lay hidden behind large rocks, breathing. Softly, the wind blew sand across their faces, but they did not move. They are looking for the core. Nara whispered. They know it was activated. Ravi nodded. His mind was still filled with the bright images from the orb of memories. The battles, the promise he once made to protect the living. That promise now felt alive again inside him. He looked at Nara. We need to destroy it. If they get the core, they'll use it to wipe out everything. Nara shook her head. We can't destroy it. The flame is not a weapon for them. They can't hold it, but they can destroy the one who carries it. That's you. Ravi looked down at his hands. Then they'll come for me. Yes, she said. But not just to kill. They'll try to break you first, to make you forget. If you forget, the flame will sleep again. Ravi understood now. It wasn't about machines or power. It was about the human heart, the will to choose. To remember, to stand when everything is falling. We need to get ahead of them, he said. Before they find us again. Nara agreed. There's something else. The map in the lab showed a deeper level. One that was hidden, a second chamber. Ravi asked, yes. She said, it could be a command center, or something your old self left behind. They waited until the machines moved toward another part of the desert. Then, moving quickly and carefully, they returned to the underground lab. The machines had broken into the upper level, but they didn't find the secret tunnel. It was still untouched. Back inside, they followed a path behind the main room. Nara scanned the walls with her data pad, looking for a hidden switch. After a few minutes, a soft click came from the floor. A square panel opened, showing stairs leading down into darkness. They stepped down slowly. Lights on the walls flickered on one by one. The air became cooler. At the bottom, they entered a large round chamber. It was much older than the upper level. The walls were covered in strange symbols, human writing mixed with unknown signs. Ravi stepped closer. This is a record, he said. A message from the past. Nara pointed at a large screen in the middle of the room. When Ravi touched it, it came alive. A glowing image appeared, a human man in armor. His face looked almost like Ravi's, only older and stronger. The image spoke. To the one who returns, if you have found this place, then the flame still lives. You were once called guardian. You gave your life for the last stand. If your soul has returned, then rise again. The world will need you. The message ended. The screen faded. Ravi stood silent. He felt a deep pull in his chest. That was me, he said. I remember his voice. It was mine. Nara placed her hand on his shoulder. He left this for you. He believed you would return. In the corner of the room was a small metal box. Inside it was an old bracelet, dark gray with a single blue light in the center dot. Ravi picked it up. As soon as he placed it on his wrist, it lit up. The symbols on the walls also began to glow. A wave of soft light filled the chamber. The ground hummed gently. Then the bracelet spoke. Guardian link complete. Energy restored. Core connection active. Ravi felt something move through him like strength waking up inside. His vision became sharper. His thoughts were clearer. I know what to do now, he said. Outside, the machines had returned to scanning the hills. One of them stopped near the hidden hatch and turned its eye toward the ground. A faint heat trail still remained. They found the path, Nara said. We have to leave. Ravi replied. But before they climbed the ladder, he placed both hands on the central console. Blue lines moved from the bracelet into the console. A second door opened in the wall. Inside was a narrow tunnel with a smooth path leading away from the lab, a secret escape route. Nara said. They entered the tunnel and walked quickly for almost an hour. It led them far from the original entrance. When they finally reached the surface again, they were behind a group of tall stones on the edge of the desert. The sun was beginning to rise. From there, they could see the machines breaking into the lab, but they were too late. The core was gone. Ravi now carried it inside him. As the sun rose higher, Ravi and Nara stood on a small cliff, looking at the horizon. We need a plan, Ravi said. There's an old signal tower in the north hills, Nara said. If we can reach it, we can send a clearer message, a stronger one. To your people, Ravi asked. And to anyone who still listens, she said. If other guardians have returned, they may come too. Ravi nodded. Then that's where we go next. He looked at the bracelet on his wrist. It pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. I don't feel like the same person anymore, he said. You're not, Nara replied. You're becoming who you were always meant to be. He took a deep breath. I'm ready. The journey wasn't over. In fact, it was just beginning. But now, he no longer ran in fear. Now, he was walking forward with purpose, with memory, and with fire in his heart. The sky turned orange as the sun rose over the quiet hills. But peace would not last. Ravi and Nara stood on a rocky cliff, wind blowing dust around them, behind them. The desert stretched far. Ahead, the signal tower stood in the distant sold, tall and forgotten by most, but now, it could become the voice that called for help across the stars. We have to reach the tower before they block the signal, Nara said, checking her device. Ravi nodded. He looked calm, but inside, he felt something rising. Since he wore the bracelet, something had changed. His steps felt lighter. His thoughts were sharper. The energy core had become part of him. He didn't fully understand it, but he knew one thing: it was powerful. They started walking toward the tower, keeping low. The machines were not far behind. Drones flew over the hills, their red lights blinking like angry eyes. Suddenly, a sharp sound came from the sky, a long, high-pitched hum. They're coming, Nara said quickly. We need to move. They ran, dust flying behind their feet. The tower grew closer with every step. It stood on a flat hill, surrounded by broken fences and metal poles. Ravi jumped over a fallen beam and pushed open the rusted gate. Inside the tower base, he found an old control room. Wires hung from the ceiling. The screens were cracked, but one console still had a blinking light. This might work, Ravi said. Nara placed the locator device next to the console. She connected it with a wire from her bag. Signal ready, she said. Once you press that button, the message will spread across systems. What do I say? Ravi asked. Say what's true, she answered. That the Guardian has returned, that the flame lives, that this world stands. Ravi placed his hand on the panel. A soft glow surrounded him. The bracelet lit up, and the console responded. He spoke slowly and clearly. To those who still listen, this is Ravi. I carry the flame. The Guardian has awakened. Earth is alive. If you hear this, come. The machines are here, but we will not fall. The message repeated, louder each time. The sound spread into the sky like a wave. Then the ground shook. Machines were near. Nara looked through the broken wall for walkers, to flyers, and a command unit. They came fast. We can't run, Ravi said. We don't need to, Nara replied. She pulled out the small discs and placed them on the ground. From them rose a soft blue shield, covering the tower entrance. It would hold for a short time. Then Nara turned to Ravi. It's time. You have the flame now. Use it. How? Ravi asked. She touched his chest. It's not a weapon in your hand. It's a strength inside your will. Let it guide you. Outside. The machines stopped. Then they attacked. The flyers fired first-red beams, cut through the sky, and hit the shield. Sparks flew. The shield cracked but held. Ravi closed his eyes. He breathed deeply. The energy inside him moved like a river. It rose from his heart, flowed through his arms, and reached the bracelet. Suddenly, blue light burst from his hands. The console glowed brighter. The air around him changed. He stepped outside. Nara followed him, ready to fight. The walkers moved closer, heavy legs crashing against stone. One raised its weapon. Ravi raised his hand and a beam of blue light shot out, hitting the walker in the chest. It shook, lost balance, and exploded. Ravi stared at his hand. I didn't think. I just felt. That's the flame, Nara said. Keep going. The other walker fired at him, but the beam stopped inches before hitting his body. A glowing shield, shaped like light itself, blocked it. Ravi stepped forward again. He wasn't afraid anymore. The memory of the old Guardian was alive inside him, not just the memory, his spirit. He moved quickly now. His hands moved like light. Every time he focused, the blue energy responded. It became a wall, a weapon, a shield. Nara ran beside him. She moved fast and fierce, leaping into the air and slashing a flying machine with her sharp claws. It broke into pieces and fell. Another walker aimed at the tower. No, Ravi shouted. He raised both hands, and a wave of light shot from him. The walker flew back like paper in the wind and crashed against the rocks. Broken and still, the command unit, bigger and darker, moved forward. It had many arms and a red circle in its chest. A deep voice came from it. You are not the Guardian. You are only a copy. The flame is false. Ravi stood tall. The flame is real because I choose it, and I choose to stand. The machine fired a strong red beam. But this time, Ravi didn't block it. He walked through. The energy passed around him like wind. His body glowed with blue light. The machine's beam lost power. Then Ravi reached out and the command unit froze. Its lights blinked fast, confused. You fear choice, Ravi said. But I embrace it. He raised his hand once more. The command unit cracked, sparked, and then exploded into dust. The sky became quiet. The battle was over. Ravi stood still, breathing slowly. The light around him faded, but the warmth in his chest stayed. Nara came to his side. They saw it. She said, "The machines now know. You're not a memory. You are real. Will they come again?" Ravi asked. "Yes, stronger next time," she said. "Then we'll be ready," Ravi said. Far above them, something moved in the sky. A light, soft, white, and slow. It wasn't a machine. It's a ship. Nara whispered, "One of ours." Ravi smiled. They heard the call. The message had reached across the stars, and now the stars had answered. The silver ship in the sky slowly came closer. Its smooth body reflected the morning light as it floated over the hills. Ravi and Nara stood together, their eyes fixed on the sky. The message had worked. Help had come. The ship landed near the broken signal tower. A soft breeze rolled across the sand as the ship's side opened with a quiet hiss. 3 tall figures stepped out. Their armor was clean and shining. Their faces were calm but serious. The first one spoke. "We received your call. The Guardian flame has returned." Ravi stepped forward. "I'm not the Guardian they knew, but I carry the same fire. You use the flame," the second figure said. "The energy moved through the stars. We felt it." Nara looked at them and nodded. "He is real. I saw it with my own eyes. He stood when even the old ones would have fallen." The third figure, a woman with short hair and kind eyes, walked closer to Ravi. "Then the prophecy is true. The new Guardian is not born of the stars but born of Earth." Ravi felt strange. He had always thought of himself as just a normal boy. But now, things were different. The flame had chosen him, or maybe he had chosen the flame. "Will you help us?" Ravi asked. The woman looked around at the tower, the broken machines, the burned ground. Then she smiled softly. "Yes, this world is not lost. It has hope." Suddenly, a sound echoed through the air. A deep rumble. The ground shook. The visitors turned their heads. One of them pulled out a scanner. "Something is coming." A large power reading. More machines. Ravi looked at Nara. She looked back without fear. "They won't give up. They'll send their main force now. We fight." One of the visitors said no. Ravi said, "We lead." He turned toward the signal tower and climbed the steps from the top. He could see the horizon, black. Smoke was rising. Huge shapes moved through the desert like metal giants with long arms and spinning cores. Ravi took a deep breath. Then he raised both hands, and the flame rose with him. A blue light spread from his chest to his arms. His eyes glowed softly. The visitors stood beside him. Nara climbed to his side. "All who can hear," Ravi said, sending his voice through the tower's speaker. "Come to us. Earth stands. The flame lives." His words flew across the skies. Then, in the distance, small ships appeared fast and low. Some came from the new visitors' fleet. Others were hidden ships, old allies, who had waited in silence. As the machine army drew closer, the ground fighters of Earth stepped out from ruins and caves. They had waited for a sign. Now they had it. Ravi ran down the stairs and stood in front of the tower. Behind him stood Nara, the visitors, and Earth's brave ones. The first enemy walker appeared. It had 6 legs and a red glowing eye. It fired. A beam of hot energy. Ravi raised his hand, and a wall of blue light appeared. The beam bounced off. He looked back. Now, the battle began. Ships flew over the tower, firing at the machines. Soldiers moved forward, using cover. Nara leapt into the air and landed on one of the walkers, tearing it down piece by piece. Ravi moved like wind. Wherever he stepped, the flame followed. He guided people, protected them, blocked deadly fire, sent power to those who needed it. The enemy sent a large crawler twice the size of the others. It had spinning arms and dark smoke flowing from its back. It charged toward the tower. Ravi stood in its path. The crawler fired every weapon it had. The ground shook, and fire filled the sky. But Ravi did not move. He raised both hands, and a bright blue dome surrounded him. The crawler's beams broke apart before touching him. Then Ravi stepped forward, 1 foot at a time, until he reached the crawler's front. He touched it with one glowing hand. The machine stopped. Its lights blinked. Then it powered down completely. The flame had spoken. More and more enemy machines began to fall. Some were destroyed in battle. Others shut down, confused by the energy they could not control. The battle lasted hours. But in the end, the machines stopped coming. The sky became quiet again. Ravi stood on a hill, looking down at the silent field. The smoke cleared. The tower still stood. The people still stood. Nara walked to his side. "It's done." "No," Ravi said. "It's just beginning." The visitors from the stars came forward again. "What will you do now?" they asked. Ravi looked at the blue bracelet on his wrist. It no longer glowed as bright, but the warmth remained. "We rebuild, we protect, and we prepare." "Will you leave Earth?" the woman asked. "No," he said. "This is my home. I will stay. But I will also listen to all who need the flame. I will go when the time is right." Nara smiled. "You are not just guardian of Earth. You are guardian of all." Later that night, a fire burned near the signal tower. People sat around it, soldiers, survivors, visitors from space. They shared food, stories, laughter. Ravi sat beside Nara. He looked up at the stars. "I used to think the stars were far," he said. "They still are," Nara replied. "But they're not empty anymore." She nodded. "No, they are full of life, and now they know you." Above them, a new star blinked. It was not a star, but a ship flying far. It left a trail of light as it returned to the stars. The battle was over, but the story of the flame had only just begun.